It's going to be the fight for the final part of this championship. Who is going to be able to beat Julian van der Walt, who has literally been untouched the whole season, having taken the championship at the previous round? Looks like there's a couple of karters who've come to play here and mean business. Stuart White's one of them. A couple of quick checks with Claudia Piazzamussa on the car there for van der Walt. And Stuart White, I think, might be the man who could possibly spoil the day here for a lot of drivers. He's been very quick. He's been international all season long, which is why he's been in and out of this championship and basically hasn't had any issues. Issues, though, on the start line for van der Walt. And it's Stuart White who goes alongside. Oh, good start there from Dean Venter. Coming from that Formula Ford Festival. He's certainly going to try and use the international experience now to take on Stuart White, who, of course, has been fighting in the F4 Championship all season long. It's Dean Venter who gets the whole shot, or does he? As Stuart White goes on his inside and forces him wide into turn one.
That's already very close there, but big news already that Julian van der Walt, car number 42, is in pit lane with some kind of issues there. Wait and see if he can make it out on track, but it is Stuart White forcing his way into first place there as we go on board and onto the back straight with Dean Venter using a little bit too track and too much. I think the back wheels just touched the exit there on the grass, and out of the race he goes.
Dean Venter making a rookie mistake coming out of there. Just exactly what we saw with John Okoro earlier on. Just putting the power on a little bit earlier. Cam O'Connor dives on the inside of Gillespie though as they go into clubhouse and moves up into third place. Wesley Vosloo, what a start from that youngster. Another karter who stepped up into this championship at the end of the season and has already shown a huge amount of prowess here and possibilities for next year as being one of the top contenders.
Yeah, the karters have certainly come to play here at Kyalami, and they go to the top of the hill now for the first time, banging it down through the gearbox. You can hear those tires squealing as they beg for traction on the brakes as they come out of Leo Cup now and is flat out down the hill on board now with Brad Benningfield. And try and pick up as much slipstream as he can. It's flat out and then try and do something on the brakes. You can got so much room to play with now in the bowl. Will he go left? Will he go right? Not quite close enough there. But Stuart White, the man out front, is just doing an incredible job at the moment.
Cam O'Connor starting to close down on Vosloo, and the two of them going to fight hard there. Both of them coming out of karting, had incredible seasons in the karting championship as well. But just having a look at the way they went through the sweep there with Brad Benningfield, it was great to see that you do not have to tap off. Massive downforce on these cars with the wings, and you can see these guys are just loving life. They've got cars now that they can literally push to the limit. And the lap times are certainly coming down and starting to become very competitive.
Well, a lot of drivers using a little bit too much track coming out onto the front straight. That will cost you time. But at the moment, what are they going to do about car number 8? Stuart White is just out front and pulling away from the rest of the field. There's a move on the inside there from one of the cars. That is Brad Benningfield on the inside there of Dolenchik. So one of the favorite overtaking maneuvers there, and he holds the line. So that was a great overtaking move. That is for about 5th and 6th position. The guys just ahead of him are still Wesley Vosloo, Cameron O'Connor, and Alex Gillespie. Oh, big moment in turn one.
Looks like Gart de Villiers coming together there with Craig Noons, but both of them get going again. And lost a little bit of ground to the back of the pack, but they were kind of fighting for 14th, 15th, and 16th place there. It's going to give Brendan Tracy a little bit of a run, and maybe Mike Verrier a chance to get away from the two of them. They were just behind those two cars. Down through the S's goes Stuart White. That's the gap he's got over Vosloo. Vosloo now with a small margin over Cam O'Connor. O'Connor just messed up the start ever so slightly. Wasn't quite on the start, but he's made up some ground now and possibly on with a shot of a podium here as they head to the top of the hill with a couple of laps to go.
Great to see Wesley Vosloo, a Class B driver, right up there in the mix with the Class A's. Just ahead of Cameron O'Connor and Alex Gillespie. Benningfield still in that big battle there with Dolenchik for 5th and 6th place with Andrew Rackstraw. He's in the 2nd of the B class at the moment as we go on board now with Andrew Hunt trying to pick up that slipstream. And here we go, another great shot down the hill. Look at the speed that they can carry now through the old mine shaft. And his flat out stuff, will he? Yeah, he lets him a little bit too easily there on the inside. So should have gone a little bit more defensive, the driver ahead of him. But that's one more place there for on-board man.
Alan Mayer was the man that was overtaken there. The two of them fight not only here in Formula 1600s, but also in the Formula 4 Championship in the Historic Tour. So they know each other's driving styles. They know exactly where they can give each other room. It's good to see them giving each other room and not going sort of banging. And you don't want to bang bars with these things because as soon as you lock up wheels, the single-seaters, particularly with the open wheels, you're going to be flipping cars left, right, and centre.
Especially down at the fastest part of the circuit now. Hard on the brakes now, once again into turn one. You can see begging for traction out of those tyres, getting exactly what they're giving at the moment. There's still Wesley Vosloo. Cameron O'Connor just unable to get within a card's length of Wesley to try and pick up that slipstream, which is so vital in this category.
You can see it's also difficult to get into that slipstream as well, Rob, particularly with the longer straights here at Kyalami, because what happens is the downforce starts to affect the car slightly. So you're going to have to just be wary about where you are. Thiago Rebelo, another one of our top karters who stepped up. He's just outside the top 10, and this is a very good outing for him. He's fighting with Carl Pitzer, the man from Mozambique, and those two young karters certainly going to have a big amount of experience coming through from this year and looking to put it into practice for next year.
on the final lap now, and look at this battle between Andrew Horn and Brendan Tracy. It's going to go down to the wire. They come through clubhouse turn, and the S is up next. Oh, a little bit sideways there for Tracy. Lost a lot of traction there, but we go onto the front straight already with Stuart White, and what an impressive race from the young driver.
Super effort there from the FW man going across the line. Fantastic racing, taking the win ahead of Wesley Vosloo. A super effort for him. His first podium in this category. Gillespie in 4th and Brad Bedingfield in 5th.
Dean, it's never nice to see a race car come back to the pits on the back of the flatbed.
No, just a mistake on my part. Just took too much curb onto turn 3, and I just lost it all by myself like a clown. So yeah.
Where's your best performance this season to date? But you were telling me off camera that you felt like you just completed a marathon.
Yeah, no, the stress from Cameron was really tough. So to be honest, not to put a foot wrong was quite hard. And because I knew the race pace that we had was a little bit off of Cameron, and unfortunate for Julian, but then our start helped us. So it was a nice race from Cameron's point of view, the pressure. So yeah, that's why I'm so tired.
It's hot out there. These boys are working hard. And remember that we are also thinking of Donnie Lamola and wish her a speedy recovery and back into the seat as soon as possible. Mike Verrier had a great one. Let's see what he can do in the second heat now. Let's see, there's a lot of tired people out there. It's been a long day of racing, and Dolanchek off the line with a fantastic start, goes around Gillespie and heads down towards turn 1. It's a great start from Cam O'Connor. Look at that. On the inside, going to try and squeeze through there on Stuart White as they head down towards turn 1. 3 by 3. Van der Vat is back in it. Let's see whether or not he can beat the two youngsters. No, he can't. He goes around the outside of Cam O'Connor, but Stuart White is going to lead Cam O'Connor through. And the two cars, yellow, black and white machines, might be able to outgun the new champion. And no, just getting through there was Van der Vat. But all of a sudden, there's now big pressure coming from behind with Vosloo, Dean Venter and Bedingfield there as well.
It was a much better start from Cameron O'Connor, and the biggest loser there was Wesley Vosloo. He's dropped way down now, so that brilliant start that he got in race number 1, he's not got it in race number 2, so he's got a lot of work to do now as they come through Sunset now for the first time. And they call it Sunset because on the day it was really starting to play a big role there. So Dark Visors very much in it. On the inside there, great overtaking there going into clubhouse. That is Alex Gillespie trying to get a move on now because the top 3 cars are already starting to spread the field.
Stuart White just dropping the hammer and getting away early on, using the experience that he has, but internationally, where they've got to literally get out there and give everything they can on cold tyres. So the cold tyres is not an issue for Stuart White. Julian van der Vat is having to go defensive and is going left, right and centre, trying to avoid the overtaking manoeuvres that are coming from Cam O'Connor. O'Connor wants to beat van der Vat. There's nothing else that he wants to do, and he wants to do it on track, not having van der Vat parked in the pit lane. As we go down the hill now, keep an eye on that left-hand side of the car as they tuck in everything she's got here. No holds barred. You can hear no revs lifted off there at all until they come to the braking markers down here into Crocodiles.
O'Connor is looking way more racier now in race number 2. On the inside, once again, is Gillespie going defensive there. So he's going to try and hold off the likes of Dean Venter, who's repaired that car. Brad Bedingfield not too far behind either. But Stuart White is just stamping his authority on this whole entire race meeting. Clearly, he loves the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit as this battle now, which is down for 5th place. Tyres squealing, tyres locking up, smoke everywhere. This is exactly what we expect from the Investchem Formula 1600s.
How was Venter's late braking there to try and get up the inside? Locked up the tyre. It might have flat spotted it ever so slightly, so you'll have to keep an eye on that one. But he's fighting extremely hard there with Venter, and he's fighting hard with Wesley Vosloo. Sure, fighting hard is Mike Verrier trying to get his car off the rumble strip there. It's not going to happen, which means we're going to get a safety car. Safety car is going to be pulled out there, and it brings everybody back into contention again. Keep an eye on Cam O'Connor. Watch for the dive to see if you can get through on Julian van der Vat. As they go down into the final turn, Ingwe, it is Stuart White going to dictate the pace now. Remember, there'll be no overtaking until they cross the line, but you can push it to the limit, and I think that's exactly what Cameron O'Connor's going to try and do. He's going to come out there and give it everything she can and try and avoid the little Coke can rolling across the circuit. Bang! Thanks for coming. One of them had to hit it, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. But this is a second chance very much for the rest of the drivers now, because Stuart White was just extending that lead through every single corner in the first part of this race. So it's up to the likes of Julian van der Vat, Cameron O'Connor, Alex Gillespie, Wesley Vosloo and Dean Venter. They've got the pace to try and stick with Stuart White up front. If they give him a gap, he will be gone within a couple of corners. On board here, once again with Brendan Tracy, you can see how they've got to fight these cars through this flat out section here at Kyalami. Get it squared up there. This is where Dean Venter got it all wrong in race number 1. Beautiful line there, gets right into the slipstream. Can he pull on the inside now? Going to Sunset. Watch for that blue car at the top of the shot. We didn't quite see it there, but I think he's going to line something up. If not into Sunset, certainly going into Clubhouse.
Yeah, good chance of going into Clubhouse, no doubt about it. Now looking into Clubhouse, these two fighting for second and third. Cam O'Connor's all over the back of Van der Walt and is looking to try and show the champion that he could have given him a run for his money a little bit earlier on the season. Would have been good to see. Remember, he's the youngest driver in this category, so he certainly knows what to do in terms of single-seater racing, and for next season is going to be a hot contender for that number 1 plate.
Oh, these guys must just hate it when they see the program and they see Stuart White's name is coming to race. We're going to do a couple more wild cards next year, remember, because of his overseas commitments. But when he does come back here, he really does just stamp his authority and show the experience that he already has on those very young shoulders. Because at the moment, even after the safety car, the second chance that all the drivers got, he's already extended that lead. This is the battle on track. Once again, Julian Van der Walt going defensive. Oh, O'Connor just plays the dummy. And what a move there from Cameron O'Connor. He sold the dummy that Van der Walt was handing to him and just shoved it on the inside. Brilliant stuff.
Perfect timing as well. Could you ask for better than that? He's been dying to do that all season long. He eventually gets it right in the final time of asking and coming across the line. Stuart White's going to take the win, but Cam O'Connor certainly going to take move of the day. Selling the dummy to Julian Van der Walt. And Cam's loving it for sure. There you go, on board. He's stoked with that, and he's eventually beaten the champion in an outright fight. Julian Van der Walt won't be too worried about that. He knows he's had a great battle. There you got confirmation of White, O'Connor and Van der Walt, the top 3. Gillespie beating Vosloo, Venter, Penningfield and Dolenchek, your top 8. Looking at the championship, clean and clear at the front end and taking the 2017 championship, Julian Van der Walt. White was right there, Gillespie and Cam O'Connor moving up very quickly into 4th place, beating Penningfield for the top 5.
Cameron, in the closing stages of the last race, that was an amazing maneuver you pulled on Julian. Was it planned or did it just all work out?
It all just came to mind, but in the moment I was thinking about getting 3rd in the championship and I needed 2 points, so I had to overtake Julian, and if I didn't I wouldn't have got it. So I pulled the move off, and there we go, my championship sorted.
Stuart, double win on the day. Congratulations.
Double win on the day, and to make it even better, it's the last time we'll race with just sequential boxes, so to have that on my name is also really nice. Big thanks to the whole team, Brian Kruger, my dad, fantastic racing, and everyone was involved, especially to my mechanic Pete, and to everyone that's involved. And I'd like to dedicate these wins to Donnie, and I hope she makes a speedy recovery.